Have you ever tried to make a Google Doc look just right and ended up hitting that space bar about 47 times to get everything lined up perfectly? I know I have. But there's actually a really simple trick that can make creating layouts in Google Docs so much easier. And that's using tables. Now, I know you're probably thinking, but tables are for lists and data, right? But not necessarily. I use tables in Google Docs, so they're kind of like an invisible grid. They can be really useful for things like course materials, client workbooks, journals, worksheets, forms, and pretty much anything where you want different elements to line up neatly on the page. Hi there, I'm Sharon, a virtual assistant for over 15 years and your go-to Google Workspace guide. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I use tables in Google Docs to create a simple client worksheet. And you don't need a paid Google Workspace account for any of this. I'm using a free Google account. So if you're ready, then let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to start with a completely blank Google Doc. As I said, this is a free Google account. Now you might see Gemini features here and the Gemini button up here, but I think that's just Google sort of like enticing free accounts to try Gemini out in the hope that they will then pay for an upgrade. But I can assure you this is actually a free Google account that I'm using. So the first thing I'm going to do is give this document a title. Always remember to title the document first. This is going to be called Client Reflection Workbook. So I've given it a title. So the next thing I do is want to actually give the document a title. So I'm just going to choose title and again. And then underneath, I just want to give it a subheading, like a line to say what it's about, which is here. So I just want to put this a little bit larger, put it in italics, and I'm going to center it as well. Okay, let's choose normal text again. And now we're going to create our first section. So for this, I'm going to choose heading 3 and I'm going to put it in bold. And I want to make this stand out a little bit. So I'm going to give this a color. So I'm just going to quickly show you how to color this as an actual line going across the whole page. So to do that, I'm going to highlight the text, go to format and paragraph styles, and then borders and shading. And then here, border width, I'm going to put this down as 1. And the border color, I want this to be a pale green. The background color, I also want to be pale green. And then the paragraph padding, I'm just going to choose 5 and then click apply. And you'll see this is what I mean about the color going all the way across. It just breaks each section up, that's all. So now I want to add the question. What are you most pleased with at the moment? This is just a normal text, that's fine. And I want to add in the answer section, the answer box. And for that, I'm going to insert a table. So you go to insert, table, and I just want to choose 1 row by 1 column. So it's effectively 1 cell. So I'm going to make this cell a lot taller to begin with. So anytime you're in a table, you'll notice that you'll have table options in the toolbar at the top here. So you just click on there and you'll get the menu down over on the right hand side. So for example, the column width, it's already given me the width of the actual page itself. So I'm just going to leave that as is. You can also change the data type. So if you were saying it was a date or a drop down option, then this is where you could choose that. But I'm just going to leave it as none for this. Then I move down to row and I want a minimum row height. So the row height, I actually want this to be 3 centimeters. As you're making changes, it will change it automatically over here as well. So you can see that's the height of my table. The cell, I want to make sure that the alignment is top so that the text appears at the very top of the cell. And the padding as well, I just want to change the padding a little bit. Change it to 0.3, just so there's a little bit of a gap between where they enter the text and the actual border itself. And now we move on to the color. So this is the table border as well as the actual background itself. So the table border, I want this to be light grey. And I want it to be slightly thicker. So I'm going to go with 1.5. And now the background color, I also want this to be a very, very light grey. So I'm just going to go with this one here. It's called dull white. And then once you're finished, you can just close the table options down. So anytime you want to make any changes to it, you can either go to the table options in the menu up here, or you can right click in the table and you'll have table options here as well. And it opens up the same set of options over on the right. So that's the first answer box. And now I can type inside if I want to, or I can leave it blank so that the client can fill it in. And you can see it's already so much easier than trying to create a space using loads of blank lines. Now, the good thing is now we've got the formatting how we want it, we can literally highlight everything here, Control C to copy, and then Control V to paste. So I've now got another section. So I'm going to change this to number 2. And this one is going to be what's challenging you. And I'm just going to change the question to, is there anything that's getting in the way? And you can see the answer box is identical to the first one. So already everything is looking perfectly aligned. And this is one of the reasons why I like using tables for this kind of document. Once you've created that first table and got it exactly how you want it, it's just a matter of reusing it. So you just copy and paste it to the next section or the next question. Okay, moving on to section 3. So I just want to copy this header and paste, and we're just going to change this to what do you want to focus on. Now we're going to make things slightly interesting. For this section, I want to actually have 2 columns. So my table is going to be slightly different. So I go to Insert, Table, and I want 2 columns by, let's go 4 rows. So it's inserted the table into here. And the first row is going to be my heading row. So I've just added in my headings here. I'm just going to make these bold. And I just want these to stand out a little bit. So I'm just going to highlight the cells, right click, go to Table Options. And in the cell background color here, I'm just going to put this down as the light grey again, or dull white, just so it stands out a little bit more. I also want the table borders to match the others. So again, I'm going to go to the border, which was 1.5. and the colour, which was light grey. Click off there, just so it matches the others, that's all. So there's 3 rows underneath for the client to complete. And here's another really useful table feature. At the moment, the 2 columns are roughly the same width, but I want the what will I do next column to be wider. So I can simply drag this column here. So the first column now is narrower, and the what will I do next is in a wider column. And because this is a table, everything still stays aligned. If I was trying to do this using spaces or the tab key, I'd be fighting with it, whereas the table gives me a nice predictable grid. Now I want the rows to be a little bit deeper than what they are, so I can highlight the 3 rows here, go to row in the table options, select minimum row height, and then mark it to be different here. Just keep upping the height until you get it to a height that you want, and you can see all 3 of these have now changed. Now if you had one row that was a different size to the others and you wanted the others to match, then you would highlight the rows, right click, and then select distribute rows, and Google Docs will make the selected rows all the same height. You can also distribute columns in exactly the same way. So this is one of those tiny features that makes a big difference when you're trying to create something that looks neat and tidy. Moving on, I'm just going to create another section here. So this is just another section before our next session, and I've just basically created the same table again. I've just changed the height of this cell for this table, and then on this table here I've increased the height of it as well. So moving on to the final section, and this is where tables gets really interesting. So tables don't have to look like tables. So for example, let's say I wanted 2 pieces of information sitting neatly side by side. I would create a 2-column table. So I'm just going to paste a new section here, and now I want a 2-column table. So I go to Insert, Table, and I want 2 columns by 3. So once I've put in the content into these 2 columns, which I'm just going to quickly do now, and now we just need to remove the borders. So go over to Colour, and under Table Border, you would either choose Transparent, or you would go to White as appropriate. Or another way to remove the borders is to select the size and choose 0, and that will also remove them. And suddenly the table disappears, but the layout remains the same. This is one of my favorite uses for tables in Google Docs. You're essentially using the table as an invisible grid to keep everything lined up. So now this just looks like 2 neat blocks of text sitting exactly where I want them. Let me close the table options down. And this is it. This is our little client reflection workbook. I've just arranged the spacing a little bit differently between the sections. And here's the finished client reflection worksheet. Now it's nothing complicated, but notice how everything is lined up neatly. The answer boxes are the same size, the 2-column section stays perfectly aligned, and I haven't had to use the space bar to position anything. The table is controlling the layout for me. And once you start thinking about tables as a layout tool rather than simply somewhere to put data, You can use them for all sorts of things. For example, course materials, journals, client workbooks, checklists, worksheets, even CVs. And because you can merge cells, resize rows and columns, change padding and control borders, you can create surprisingly flexible layouts. So the next time you're creating something in Google Docs and find yourself thinking, how on earth am I going to get all of this lined up? Before you start hitting that spacebar, try using a table. It might just be the secret weapon you've been missing. So tell me, if you use tables in Google Docs, what do you use them for? Give me some ideas in the comments below. As always, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video. Bye for now.